Good morning, boys and girls. I hope you all had a good rest, and I hope you did your practice sums from yesterday. Remember, in term 2, we only do revision of long division, and today we're going to go further. I know that there were 2 sums yesterday that actually had remainders. I'm sure you used them as practice, and today we're going to go the next step and just do a formal revision lesson on division with remainders. Today we're going to be working on page 99, exercise 18.4. But before we do that, let's get the memo for yesterday's homework. Oh, sorry, not the memo for yesterday's homework. We're first going to do our mental maths test. Boys and girls, I want you to pause the video here, work as quickly as you can, but remember, accuracy is always important. There you go, there is your memo. You may mark your work with a green pen, preferably, or a sharp green pencil. Remember, corrections where possible. Okay, there's the memo for yesterday's homework. Remember, in exercise 18.1, we did not do question 1, we only did question 2. Okay, daddy, mommy, sister, brother rule. And yesterday I reminded you, especially for today's lesson, we're going to add rover, which means repeat the step or the number becomes a remainder. Okay, let's have a look at this example. First of all, before I get to start, I have to set out my work correctly. So the first step that I'm going to do is I'm going to set out my sum. I need to make it a little bit longer. Let's do it like this. Okay, the number is 1,989. I'm dividing by 5. So my rules says daddy, mommy, sister, brother, and today we're going to have Rover as well, our pet dog. Then we need to do our 1 to 9 times table for 15. So let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This might seem as though it is the long way around, but remember, by doing this, you're not going to make very many mistakes at all. Now we need to do the multiplication table for 15. Now the easiest way to do a double-digit multiplication table is to split it up into its expanded notation. So 10 plus 5 equals 15. Then I just go down the list and I count in tens. 20, 30, 40. Counting in tens is rather easy. 70, 80, and 90. Remember, we're adding 5 each time, so it's 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45. And we're adding each time. And now we can just add them together. 30, 45, 60, 75, 90, 105, 120, and 135. So, boys and girls, there is my 15 times table. I told you it might seem as though it takes long, but when you're doing your sum, it is far better to have done that beforehand than to have to count out a big multiplication sum on your fingers. So now we can start our work. Let's do it in color-coded like we did yesterday. Step 1, 1 divided by 5. Now 1 divided by 5 I cannot do, so I say loop the first 2 numbers. Let me just fix up that little mistake. It's divided by 15, not 5. So we loop the first two numbers so that I can divide by 15. 19 divided by 15. I look over here on the side. Where does it fit in? Goes in there. It goes once. Done my division. Now my multiply. 1 times 15 is 15. Done my multiply. If I do a subtraction, 9 minus 5 is 4, and 1 minus 1 is 0. Done my subtraction. Bring down the 8. Now, done the bring down. Because there is still a number for me to bring down, I apply the rover rule, which means repeat the steps again. So I start with a new color. 48 divided by 15. 48 would fit in there. It goes 3 times. And 3 times 15 is 45. Done my multiply. Let's do a subtraction. 8 minus 5 is 3. And 4 minus 4 is 0. I've done my subtraction. Bring down the 9. And I put the 9 at the bottom, and it becomes 39. Now, let's apply the rover rule. Can I still divide 39 by 15? Yes, I can. So the rover rule applies to say, repeat the steps. And the last step is going to be 39 divided by 15. 39 divided by 15, 39 goes in there. It only goes in twice. Done my multiply. My division. Let's multiply. 2 times 15 is 30. Done my multiply. A quick subtraction. 9 minus 0 is 9. 3 minus 3 is 0. Now, let's look at the rover rule. There's nothing to bring down. I cannot divide 9 by 15. I cannot do that. Therefore, this number here at the bottom needs to be written up at the top as a remainder 9. Okay. And that's as difficult as it gets, boys and girls. It doesn't get more complicated than that. Here's your homework activity for today. You're going to do number 1A to D. Those are just your division sums. And then number 2 and 3 are division sums, but in word format. So boys and girls, these two sums over here, let me highlight them for you. Whoops. These two sums over here, number 2 and number 3, those are word sums. And for our word sums, we need to remember this. Word sums are 3 steps. Okay, a word part, an open number sentence, and an answer. And on the right hand side of your page, you're going to draw a column, and that is where you're going to show your working out. So today's homework, page 99, exercise 18.4. Good luck, boys and girls. I'll see you again tomorrow.